European leaders met in Brussels for an emergency summit to strengthen defense spending and reinforce support for Ukraine. President Zelensky was in attendance as the EU faces mounting pressure with the US halting all Ukraine aid. Germany is also ramping up defense efforts, with Berlin weighing key budget decisions beyond military spending. DW correspondent Lars Halter reports on the latest from Berlin.
Thanks for having me. Well, it was a long meeting, but a successful one, and it came at a difficult time, days only after President Donald Trump in the US had made it quite clear that to the world that he has no interest and that he can't be relied on to support Ukraine in its defense against the Russian aggressor. In fact, as we know, Trump sees Ukraine as an aggressor and has pretty much told Europeans that it is their job to defend the country and to protect Europe itself against possible future aggressions by Vladimir Putin. So it was clear that EU members had to invest heavily, and they did. They agreed for now on borrowing up to 150 billion euros jointly to lend to EU governments to spend on their militaries, and they showed clear solidarity with Ukraine, with EU Council President Antonio Costa saying, "We are on your side," to Ukraine's President Zelensky, who was present at the meeting in Brussels. Also, France suggested a European defense shield. Nuclear weapons, of course, are playing a role there. The likely new German Chancellor Merz agrees with that plan, and he has had talks with French President Macron and with British Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Now, his country is not in the EU anymore, of course, but it is the other European nuclear power. For now, there's still lots of details to be hashed out. Final decisions will have to be made in 2 weeks at the regularly scheduled EU summit. Yes, indeed. As you might remember, we just had those elections about 2 weeks ago, and the Christian Democrats Party that won the election is currently in the process of building a coalition to form a government. And they are talking to the Social Democrats, that is the party of still Chancellor Olaf Scholz. Now, those parties have apparently seen the need to ramp up defense spending, and they want to take it out of the debt brake mechanism that many have said over the years had held back Germany. Now, here's the thing. The debt brake is a principle enshrined in the German constitution that says that no new debt can be accrued, so that all money spent will have to come out of the available budget. Now, according to the plan, the likely future coalition has hatched out 1% of Germany's GDP will still go into defense, so it's coming out of the budget, but everything beyond that will be financed by new debt, and it will be a lot. The current Secretary of Defense says the German military needs about 85 billion euros per year. And given those latest developments with the US support for NATO and Ukraine weakening, it could very well be 130 billion or more. So no longer the NATO's famous 2%, but more likely up to 3% of the country's gross domestic product. And that, of course, is a lot. But the likely future Chancellor Merz has specifically said that he wants to do whatever it takes, showing a very strong commitment there. That's right. Besides granting more money for the military, that new coalition plans on taking up 500 billion euros in new debt to invest in Germany's infrastructure, Germany's crumbling infrastructure, I should say, and that is definitely necessary. Germany needs massive investment everywhere, starting with digitalization, the energy grid, but all the way really down to roads and rails. Bridges have become a major concern. There are at least 4,000 highway bridges in Germany that are in dire need of repair. Some are saying it might be 8,000. There are many similar issues other than bridges, of course. Now, fixing all this is expensive, but the government thinks this is a good investment. And I will tell you, it is indeed. Economists have said for a long time that investing heavily in infrastructure is the best way to pull Germany out of its ongoing recession. We have been in recession here for 2 years. The economy is still at least stagnating, and infrastructure investment would guarantee lots of jobs in construction and elsewhere, but also make the country more competitive in so many ways. So here in Berlin, they're rushing to get this massive deal through and to get to work as fast as possible.